So for those of you who were born or reside in England, the UK, whatever, this is going to be a bit of a shock to your system. It certainly was to mine. Do you remember Claire's? Yes, the iconic shop that all of us, or most of us, used to go to when we were children, teenagers. Just a little side note, but I have a really bad cold that has begun, so if you can hear that I'm a little more nasally than usual, then that is why. Don't be alarmed. It's not COVID. That I know of. So Claire's have been around since as long as I can remember. I remember being about 5 and going, and it was just like walking into Disneyland. Everything was so bright and colourful and enticing and just really exciting to be around. It was a staple, the place to be. For my younger sister, she used to like Smiggle. It's kind of like that but more focused on beauty and accessories rather than notebooks and things like that. So across 2025 and 2026 this year, they have multiple insolvency filings, which basically just means that they can't pay the debts. I do know that Claire's is, from what I've researched anyway, Claire's is a shop that is in the US too. In the US, they filed for bankruptcy, and then it wasn't long after that that things started to go downhill in the UK and Ireland. So all of this was actually following a previous bankruptcy claim that they did in 2018. I believe that was for somewhere around 1.5 billion in debt. Moving on to September of 2025, where a rescue deal was brokered, and this was kind of taken over by a third-party private equity firm. But despite this rescue attempt, they still went ahead in October of 2025 and closed 145 stores in the UK. This was, of course, an attempt to restabilise the business, but this attempt didn't last too long because in January of this year, they have announced that it's not doing great. They've re-entered administration literally a few months after someone has come in and taken over. The new owners have been claiming that it's just basically really extremely challenging, and you know, there's not that the strong customer base there once was. It's just that lack of trust and credibility. There's been many different controversies and scandals, shall we say, about certain practices of Claire's, such as, you know, the ear piercing not being sanitary, causing infections, things like that, and the fact that they've done it on children who are too young, children who are visibly really upset about getting their ears pierced, and they've still gone ahead and done it anyway because the parents said so. Just a lot of different bad publicity. I'm not a believer of all publicity is good publicity. That is not the case at all. If you get really bad publicity, sometimes there's no coming back from that. I do feel like leading up to this, you know, downfall, closure of Claire's, it was to be expected in the things, in just the way they are. They kind of haven't kept up with the times. They've stuck to their aesthetic, which is very outdated in my opinion. For us who grew up in the, you know, late 90s, early 2000s, everything Claire sold is exactly the aesthetic you were going for, the look you were going for. These days, children aren't really wanting or looking to dress like children. My 13-year-old sister, when she was 13, she looked 16, 17. She wasn't dressing in, you know, groovy chic and bratz things like I wore when I was younger. She was dressing in stuff that was very sophisticated and classy, but also older than she is. I feel like Claire's have stuck to their aesthetic and their style of products, even though the times are very quickly changing. And in a business, you can't really do that because it's not going to succeed the way you want it to. You have to be open to moving with the times and, you know, making little changes to your business and your products where it's necessary. So I've just done a bit of research and looking on BBC News. We don't like BBC, but, you know, it is reliable in terms of news. I'm just looking on there to see what is, you know, what the script is as of today, right now. And it says the company has 278 shops in the UK and 28 in Ireland, but has been struggling with falling sales and fierce competition. They're going to be struggling with that if they're not going to change their aesthetic, if they're not going to move with the times like every other brand is. Claire's said all outlets will continue trading while it considers the best path forward. In my opinion, the best path forward would be to close it. As sad as it is and as the end of an era as it feels, sometimes that is the best thing. What's the alternative? Going into even more debt, not being able to pay it, and then what happens? I just had to run downstairs for a parcel, sorry, I'm really out of breath. Claire's had been particularly popular for its ear piercing services and was a common stop in the early 2000s for tweens and teens during weekend shopping trips in malls across the world. That I can confirm. For me anyway, and for everyone in my life around that time. So it says here, its stores were known for their colourful selection of hairbands, earrings, jewellery, and occasionally for toys like slime and fluffy toys. Oh my god. I love anything fluffy. Maybe this is where my obsession started, because I remember the shop being full of fluff, like pink feather boas and just really bright fluffy things, and I am so obsessed with anything pink and fluffy. Hello. Which is why my favourite thing that I received in PR this Christmas that's just been, the holiday season, was this. Benefit sent me this, and it is a fluffy pink dice with, what's it got in it? It's like lip tints, I think. You know, the lip and cheek tint, and Bene Glaze. All the fluff's coming off now, so if you can see bits floating around in front of the camera, that is what it is. But you know, little bits of fibres are a price I am willing to pay for pink fluffy things. So that's that. But yeah, I really feel like it's the end of an era. I mean, obviously it is because of closing. It just feels so sad. And I don't know if part of that is because it's really just silly to say, because there's nothing wrong with ageing, but I feel like this is putting more emphasis on the fact that I am getting older. Seeing all these things and places that I used to shop at, things that I used to love, either being discontinued or just closed down completely. For a lot of people, it was part of their childhood. So I came across this little interview, you know, written piece from two girls aged 21 and 16 from Oxford, and they were shopping at Claire's in central London on Wednesday and said the news was quite sad because people have been going there since they were little. It's a part of my childhood personally, said Caitlin. She used to go a lot when she was around 11 years old. It's aimed towards younger people, and I don't know that there's anything else on the market that does that. It's like a rainbow of things in there, and I don't think a kid's going to be doing online shopping. Very true. I feel like this is opening the floodgates to children just using the parents' bank card details. I don't know if that's like a possibility with, you know, Face ID and things that you usually need to do in order to buy something online now, but it's still a massive worry, because if places like Claire's are closing, that's going to make children want to look online, Amazon for example, and it's really easy to place an order on Amazon. My son is 7 and he's been able to do it for the last couple of years at least. I think as we get older as adults, we quickly forget how intelligent children are, and in a world where the internet is so prevalent, they're even more intelligent, they're learning things quicker, and I can't see it being great, if I'm honest. I hope someone just comes up now and comes out with this big Claire's #2 or something, you know, like an alternative to Claire's. I mean, I probably, you know, there will be shops out there that are like Claire's already, but not as big that I know of, especially not in England. It's just a really sad time. I don't know how I feel about it. As tacky and awful as I think Claire's is now, the thought of that magic being taken away from younger children is really sad. I mean, where makeup's concerned and things like that, and accessories, shall we say, there is P. Louise now, which is, you know, all kids, all girls, all young girls especially love that shop, love that brand. So at least there is something, but like I said at the start of the video, I feel like Claire's was like Disneyland, a wonderland, you know, an amusement park of just colour and bright, interesting, fidget friendly things, and it's just gone. Poof. So yeah, I mean, hopefully they do manage to turn things around, but you know, that's like, you know, what are the chances of that happening? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, because I just feel like it's really sad. It's a shame to see it fail. Yeah. That is my stomach. I better go and make some toast, because I've got to go soon, and well, my stomach's reminding me to eat. I mean, to be honest, I could go months without eating and be absolutely fine, but we're not going to do that. We're going to prioritise our health, okay? As always, don't forget to like and subscribe if this channel is your vibe. And do not forget to just drink some lem sips or something, because you don't want to end up like me. Can't breathe, can't inhale properly. You know, you know how a cold is, okay? You know how a cold is. Just don't do it to yourself. Take my advice now and have a lemon sip or two. Love you. Bye.